reaching up to a shelf, putting on a coat, sleeping on your side, fastening something behind your back, lifting a bag. The shoulder is involved in so much of what you do without thinking until it starts to hurt. And then it's there in almost every movement, a persistent ache or a sudden sharp catch that makes you change how you move, what you attempt, and gradually, what you give up trying. Shoulder pain is the third most common musculoskeletal complaint in people over 60, after back pain and knee pain. And yet it's one of the most undertreated, partly because people assume it's simply wear and tear they have to live with, and partly because the wrong movements can aggravate it, while the right ones make a real difference. Today I'm going to explain what's most likely causing your shoulder pain and give you 6 gentle exercises, all done seated or standing with support, that specifically target the structures most commonly responsible. The right approach can restore a meaningful amount of comfort and range of motion, often within a few weeks. The shoulder is the most mobile joint in the body, a ball and socket design that can move in more directions than any other joint. That extraordinary range of motion is also what makes it vulnerable. It depends heavily on a precise balance of muscle strength and flexibility to stay stable and pain-free. There are several common causes of shoulder pain in people over 60. Rotator cuff problems are the most common. The rotator cuff is a group of 4 muscles and their tendons that wrap around the shoulder joint, holding the ball of the upper arm bone firmly in the socket while allowing movement in every direction. With age, these tendons naturally lose some of their resilience. Rotator cuff tendinopathy causes a dull, aching pain, often on the outer side of the upper arm. That's worse when reaching overhead or out to the side. If you suspect a significant tear, meaning you genuinely cannot lift your arm, that warrants a conversation with your doctor before starting any exercise program. Shoulder impingement often accompanies rotator cuff problems. It occurs when the tendons, or bursa, become pinched between the bones of the shoulder during overhead movement. The characteristic sign is a painful arc, movement that hurts in the middle of a range but is more comfortable at the beginning and end. Frozen shoulder, medically called adhesive capsulitis, is a condition where the capsule surrounding the shoulder joint tightens and thickens, restricting movement significantly in all directions. It's more common in people with diabetes, thyroid conditions, and after periods of immobility. If your shoulder has very limited movement in all directions, frozen shoulder is worth discussing with your doctor. Osteoarthritis of the shoulder causes a more localized aching and grinding, and is particularly common after a history of heavy overhead work or previous shoulder injuries. For all of these conditions, the research consistently supports the same core approach: gentle strengthening of the rotator cuff muscles and the muscles controlling the shoulder blade, combined with careful range of motion work. That's exactly what today's exercises address. All 6 exercises can be done seated in a firm chair or standing with light support. No equipment is needed for the first 4. For exercises 5 and 6, a light resistance band is optional, but a rolled-up towel or body weight works fine if you don't have one. Move slowly through every exercise. The shoulder responds poorly to rushed or jerky movements. Smooth, deliberate motion is both safer and more effective. Pain guidance for the shoulder is slightly different from other joints. Some mild discomfort during gentle movement is normal. A sharp, catching pain is a signal to reduce the range. Pain that persists or worsens for more than an hour after exercise means you've done a little too much and should reduce the intensity next session. Exercise 1. Pendulum swings. Stand beside a table or sturdy chair and lean forward slightly, supporting your weight with the unaffected arm. Let the affected arm hang down freely. Now gently swing it in a small circle, clockwise for 10 rotations, then counterclockwise for 10. Then swing it forward and back 10 times, then side to side 10 times. The key is to let the arm swing from the momentum of a gentle body sway rather than actively moving the shoulder muscles. Keep the circles small, the size of a dinner plate is about right. This is a decompression exercise, not a range of motion exercise. Exercise 2. Shoulder blade squeezes. Sit upright in your chair, arms relaxed at your sides. Slowly squeeze your shoulder blades together, as if you're trying to hold a pencil between them, and gently draw them downward at the same time, away from your ears. Hold for 5 seconds. Release slowly. 10 repetitions. Exercise 3. Doorway chest stretch. Stand in a doorway or beside a wall. Raise your arm to shoulder height and bend your elbow to a right angle, placing your forearm against the door frame. Gently step or lean forward until you feel a stretch across the front of your chest and shoulder. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Repeat on both sides, 2 sets each. Keep the stretch comfortable. You should feel a gentle pull across the chest, not a sharp sensation in the shoulder itself. Exercise 4. Seated external rotation. Sit upright, upper arm resting against your side, elbow bent to a right angle with your forearm pointing forward. Keeping your elbow tucked against your body, slowly rotate your forearm outward, away from your body, as far as is comfortable. Hold for 2 seconds. Slowly return to the start. 10 repetitions on each side. The upper arm must stay against your side throughout. The movement is a rotation, not a lift. Exercise 5. Wall slides. Stand facing a wall about an arm's length away. Place both forearms against the wall at shoulder height, elbows bent. Slowly slide both arms upward, straightening the elbows as you reach, until your arms are as extended as is comfortable above you. Hold briefly at the top. Slide slowly back down. 8 to 10 repetitions. Keep the movement smooth and controlled. Only go as high as is pain-free. Exercise 6. Seated row with towel. Loop a folded towel around a door handle, or hold both ends of a resistance band anchored at roughly chest height. Sit or stand facing the anchor point. Holding one end in each hand, slowly pull your elbows back, as if rowing, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you do. Hold for 2 seconds. Slowly return forward. 10 to 12 repetitions. Keep your shoulders away from your ears throughout. Don't shrug as you pull. Done as a complete sequence, these 6 exercises take about 12 minutes. The recommended order is pendulum swings first, shoulder blade squeezes second, chest stretch third, external rotation fourth, wall slides fifth, and seated row to finish. Aim to do this routine once daily. For the pendulum swings specifically, twice daily is beneficial if your shoulder is currently quite sore. Most people with rotator cuff tendinopathy or impingement notice meaningful improvement within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent daily exercise. Frozen shoulder takes longer, typically 3 to 6 months, but does improve with the right approach. Consistency over weeks and months is what produces lasting change. Shoulder pain has a way of quietly rewriting your habits. You stop reaching for the high shelf. You sleep on the other side. You ask for help with things you used to do without thinking. And over time, the reduced movement makes the shoulder stiffer and weaker, which makes the pain worse. These 6 exercises are designed to interrupt that cycle. Gently, consistently, from a chair or standing with support. Give them 6 weeks of daily practice before judging the results. If this video was helpful, please subscribe. I regularly share practical, evidence-based guidance on moving without pain and staying strong after 60. And if someone you know is struggling with shoulder pain, please share this with them. One important note before we finish. This video covers a specific health condition, and everyone's situation is different. The information here is for general educational purposes only, and is not medical advice. Please speak with your doctor, physiotherapist, or specialist before trying any of these movements, particularly if you have recently had surgery, been newly diagnosed, or are managing other health conditions alongside this one. What helps most people may not be appropriate for you, and your healthcare team will always be the best guide for your individual circumstances. Until then, take it gently and move well.